Okay, people. So today I am joined by Floriane Andersen. Floriane, thank you
Hi.
so much for your time. Really appreciate that.
Of course. Excited to be here.
Well, when AJ calls, I always answer. Um,
She's
I
awesome.
mean,
She's a powerhouse.
one of, if not the best publicist in the game. Yeah, no,
Agreed.
she's the best. AJ is incredible. I love working with AJ. Uh, but yeah, no, so there's a couple of things, right? Like, because you've got this short film that you're
hmm
in, which I mean, I've just watched it today, this morning,
Yeah.
literally just a few minutes before, we jumped into this. And not like, I want to keep things fresh, right? So I try and
Sure.
I never watch things like days before, you know.
Mm.
And sometimes people hit you up and be like, "Oh, what did you think of it?" I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting, you know. But then sometimes you're just like, maybe I should have watched this early. And
Oh
this is
no,
one
that's
of them.
great. I love to hear your
Oh,
feedback on yeah, your
yeah,
first impression
because
on it.
messes with the emotions, man. God damn, I wasn't expecting this story, right? It's just
Especially learning that it's a true story at the end is like what gets people to
yeah.
really, really think about this on a deeper level.
Mm. So I mean, the performances were tremendous. Oh, yeah, I didn't say is Pas Vraiment Ordinaire.
Pas
Is
vraiment ordinaire, not really ordinary. Yes.
yes.
The
Yeah.
director wanted to keep the title in French in homage to her mom, who was French. Yes.
Mm. I mean, that's all good. I don't mind the French title. Like the other week, AJ hit me up with another tremendous film, Les Tres Valus. Oh
Oh,
man.
valseuse, les trois valseuses.
Yes, Waltz for Free. Oh my
Yes.
days. That is, have you seen it? Because it is
I've
so
seen
good.
it, but years ago. I was a kid, I believe. Yes.
Oh no, so this is a new short film.
Then I haven't. What is
Oh,
that one about?
oh my gosh. It's right. So the tag is a woman picks up a male prostitute, right? But
Ooh,
it's not for a carnal delight, let's say. It's she's looking for company,
I
and
see.
it is so good. It is so good. It's by Oriana Ing, and
Okay.
yeah, she has crafted this story that is just, I think again, it's like, we were talking before we started about like honest relationships and that portrayal. And it is this honest interaction with, it's just 18
Mm,
minutes, but there is so much there.
yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Wow.
But
Oh,
it's,
looking
yes,
forward
so
to
AJ,
seeing it.
yeah, AJ hit me with that. And then with this, and again, it's this film infused with so much, right?
Mm.
Like it's just this incredible, and especially how we start, right? Because I don't read the synopsis or watch the trailer. I like to just
And it's
go
better.
in blind,
Yes.
right? Just because, like, years ago, I went to see The Matrix and
Mhm.
Gladiator, and I had
Ooh.
no clue about either of those films, right? I remember hearing about the filming of Gladiator, but that was like the year before, so I'd kind of forgotten
Mhm.
about it. And a friend just hit me up and was like, "Yo, you want to go to the cinema?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what's out." It's like the film called The Matrix. I'm like, "All right, boom." Just that was a
What a
trip.
slap in your
You
face.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then it was again with Gladiator. It's like, want to go to the cinema? All right. And so after that, I just stopped watching trailers just because
Mm,
I feel they give too much away a lot of the time, or they make a film look like it's going to be a comedy and it's not, or it's a drama and it's a comedy. Like, you know what I mean? So with
yeah.
this one, I went in with no expectations, no really understanding of what it was. And
Preconceived ideas. Yeah.
yeah, and so we open up and there's this magical interaction between a mother and a daughter, and you're just like, oh man. And the way, like the kind of distortion of the camera and everything, it really sells you on this thing. But
Yeah.
then as you're writing, and then we, you know what I mean, go from that locale to the living room, you're like, oh, okay, all right. But still, you don't really know what's happening because you just imagine, right? When you're a
Yeah.
little kid and your parents or someone's telling you this story and you're transported away and it's magic and it's fun. And so we kind of, oh, it's that, right? But then it
Yeah.
folds, right? We see what this is, and it just grabs the heart. Oh my gosh, it really does. Like the
Yeah.
performances from you and Guy and it just Jordan, everyone is tremendous.
Thank you. It's, yeah, knowing that those characters were real people, we really digged into their backstory and we wanted to learn more about them to do justice to those people who lived this on, yeah, on another level. So we really made sure we felt connected and we knew what we were talking about, approaching this subject in particular.
Have you played a role like this before?
Not never. That being said, the reason I really connected to the script initially is because I grew up with a parent with schizophrenia. So I knew really well what it meant to be a child and take care of a parent who's ill. And so that is really the reason I said yes in the first place. I wanted to tell this story because I had things to bring from my own experience, and so I wanted to make sure I was the closest and the truest to the real person. And we had wonderful conversations with the director, because we realized the more we were talking about it, we realized that the similarity, the commonalities, and what it's like to be a child who deeply cares about a parent and who sometimes has to take on the parent role for them,
Mm,
because they're unable to do it.
yeah. I mean, you often hear, right, when people talk about acting and storytelling, it's like, tell what you know, right? To
Mm,
dig into those past experiences to really bring something out. But as an actor, what is that like, right? To have to go to that place. Because I imagine, you know, that experience, a kid and just growing up and just in general with a parent suffering from schizophrenia, it's not easy, and
yeah.
obviously it's not, because I think a lot of the time, and I think another thing I enjoyed about this was the way you portrayed it, because a lot of times these things are portrayed and someone is constantly manic, right? And it's this
Hmm.
constant kind of like nail biting experience, and we know that's not the case, right?
No.
So
Yeah.
but there are those times when it must be heartbreaking. So to have to go back to that. right? What is that like? How do you process it?
I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity to get to like impersonate and instead of like intellectualizing it, it's more like feel like you have an inner world and you're almost convinced that your inner world is taking over to the outer world. And I just embrace that and let it happen. And instead of like being like, oh, you sometimes you think about things and then you come back to reality and you're like, oh, it was just a thought, it was just a dream.
Mm,
With this role, I was like, no matter what comes into my mind and I can be playful with it, I bring that into my own reality and I keep it with me. And so when I was playing with my daughter in this magical world and I was back into this living room, I was in my head, I was still in that other world. And I was like, those two worlds can coexist. And I still bring the magic into my daily life. And this is maybe how um, people make peace with it. They're like, I have my life, but on top of that, I have this like rich inner world, and sometimes they collapse, but I don't think they're ever ashamed of it, and they embrace it.
mm.
So that's how I chose to like approach the character. I really wanted to keep her free and bring her own, yeah, magic into the real world.
Yeah, yeah. It's like those moments where she's kind of you know, interacting with Adrian, and
Hmm.
it's like he's her anchor in a way.
Yes.
And it's just like those subtle transformations in Renee, in those
Mm.
moments. It's just, oh, oh man, it's so powerful, right? Because again, it's not over the top, it's really subtle.
Mm.
And so it really hits you when you see it. And especially that end scene in the car as you're kind of turning around looking out, and you're just like, oh,
And I like what you said about the anchor. That's really it. Her son is her anchor, and so the rest of the world is complete. She's oblivious of the rest, so she didn't even realize she was getting in a
mm,
police car. All she cared about was the sound of his voice, and it's the minute he leaves her and closed the door that suddenly she's back to reality and she discovers what's happening, but it's too late. And it's really how I approach the character. It's like her vision channel is just focused on one thing, and that's all that matters for her. And it's beautiful that, I mean, Adrian, in the story is wonderfully portrayed by Guy. Like he was able to really captivate me in a way that I did forget about the rest. I was
mm,
just
mm.
listening to his story, and the way he lured me in was very playful for me. I didn't feel like I wanted to get into that car. And what you said about, yeah, that it's all about the subtlety, because she we really wanted to avoid showing anything,
Yes.
because again, growing up with a parent like this, as a child, most of the time I was convinced what my parents said was true. It
Mm,
didn't feel crazy, it just felt more fun. I had a lot
yeah.
of fun around them, because I was just, I mean, they were my hero. Literally, it's only way later, when I was old enough to understand, that I understood that there was an issue. But as a child, all you want is to play with that. It's so inviting.
Mm. I think that's the again, that's a great thing about this because it's not over the top. And
Mm.
so many times we see it only one way, you know? So it's like And there's like degrees to everything. It's like when they show someone with autism, it's always one way, right? And it's just like all autistic people are great with not. I'm sure there's a lot that aren't, right? But
Mhm.
it's always this one narrative. It's
Yeah.
when they have, you know, gay people, they always have to be flamboyant, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of people that are just like, hey, how you doing, what's your day going, you know what I mean? But it's always got to be like, right, and it's just, that's not everyone, right?
Mhm.
So why are we giving these weird portrayals rather than this, this like scale, right? We're
Yeah.
showing that, like everyone
Mm.
can be so many different things. And so with
Yeah.
this, we get this more kind of, in a way, grounded portrayal, right? And it's just, there's like the end scene. When you're looking out the window, there's no hatred there, right?
No.
There's,
No.
like, it's just the kind of this forlornness, this kind of like, oh, and that just makes
Absolutely.
it even more impactful because you see that, what I mean, there's not hatred, there's not like this betrayal, there's not just, but it's just like, oh, we're here. And you're just like, oh man.
Yeah. And there's a shift that is really interesting. The director Gil gave me this note where at first when I see my husband from the car, there is anger and betrayal, but the minute they start the car, that shifts into fear and sadness and loneliness because suddenly all she wants is to be connected to them, and
Mm,
it's the distance that creates, like, she can't be mad at them now, she's just alone and
yeah.
lonely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the thing, because you just see the different connections that she has with the family throughout the
Yeah.
film. And so we get these different types of love shown throughout,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yes.
love with Steen, right? This
Yeah.
playfulness with her. We see her with Adrian. It's this different kind of affection, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Her with Will, again, it's different, but it's just all of these different flavors of love,
Yeah.
which is just how you would think it is. I mean, it's how it is just with any family, friend group, anything, right? There's people that you resonate with on different levels, right? This person I can talk to about film, this person I talk to about music, this one loves archaeology like me, and this. And so you have these different connections with people, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we see it, but it's so like intangible, right? We don't need to be like, hey, people, as you can see, the mother and the son, or the mother and the, like, it's just there, right? It's in
Yeah.
the body language, it's in, the subtlety of the dialogue. It's just all there, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and the dialogue, I know the director really picked words that were said that he remembers from it,
Mhm.
and that particular scene with his little sister, um, he wants to play hide and seek with her to protect her from what's happening, and it's another love language. It's again, he has to be the parent, and he makes decisions the best he thinks he can do.
Yeah,
He will do. It might not be the best decision, but he thought it was the best at the moment. And I love how he put, like, little snippets of like dialogue that he heard, and or things that he got reminded of by his sister, because his sister, for example, has a totally different um, memory of that
Mm,
time, because she was shielded from all the drama a lot of the time. So it shaped her entire experience of growing up with her mom.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like you can definitely imagine it. And it was, yeah, those scenes were so good. Like, oh, come to the kitchen, we'll do this card, and I'll just draw an egg. And like it's just all of this. It's just like you believe this was a family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that is, you know, always great because there are times when you watch something and you do not believe the relationships.
Mm.
It really throws you out of a story because you're just like, I mean, they're not
Oh
married.
yeah.
Why we believe you can't believe this? That's obviously not a family. What
Hmm.
is going on here? And so you're out of the story now, and you're just like, oh boy.
Absolutely. And I think Gil, the director, was really big on rehearsals and for us to meet prior to the film. And this is luxury nowadays, to be able
Mm.
to rehearse prior to the shoot. But we did many, many rehearsals, and some were like just literally get to know each other, be playful with each other, and create this relationship. So when we go on set, we already have this bond.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
is yeah, especially with a short film, right? Like a lot of times it's just, so we met and then we shot like, we had a
No, of
few
course, it can be
conversations
just
and
so
no
quick.
time. Mm.
Everything was made with like an intention, and also because this short film is also a proof of concept for a feature that Gil wrote, so he has
Right.
the entire backstory and what happened before and what's gonna happen. So I remember him sending us emails with the whole backstory of each character, and he sent us the backstory of every member of the family, because he wanted us to know about like the birthday of the son and what happened on that
Mm.
day, so we would just be so in tune and very familiar with each other.
Oh man, I didn't realize it's a proof of concept. I'm
It
very
is, yes.
because I mean, what we have, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's this snapshot, it's this moment,
Hmm.
but it works. Right? So you're kind of content with it as it is, but
And that's the
knowing there could be more, that then
Mhm,
makes you go, "Oh, I wonder what happens when she gets to where she's going. Like, how long
mhm.
is that gonna be for? Like, what was the thing that led up to there's the other thing I remember about this, like when Will walks into the house, right, the perspective changes, and I do love the way the perspective changes throughout this film, but we're now with him and you see him walking and then you see him slow as he sees doors, and I'm just like, oh, right, because obviously he knew there was an escalation and that's why we are where we are. But you kinda get the sense that he was maybe hoping everything would be great when he got home, and then he
Mm,
falls, and he's just like, "Oh, it's not."
yes, it is not getting better,
Yeah.
yeah. What I love about those writing on the wall is like, first, it was CGI. It's not real writing, because we were
Oh,
shooting in a house that was like the original house from the 70s, and we couldn't touch anything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
first we wanted to really respect the place, but it allowed us to change the writing because I don't know if you noticed, but when we go from the dreamy scene where she writes sorcier comment, the wizard comment, and then we switch to the daughter's point of view, and because she can't read, I don't know if you've noticed, but there are scribbles on the wall. It doesn't say anything. It's like literally signs that she cannot understand. And then when the dad comes, we can finally read that it was Dr. Comment, which is a wizard for the mom, but
Yeah.
actually her therapist and psychiatrist. And then you can actually understand the writing. So there are three levels of understanding depending on whose perspective it is.
Oh, that is so clear. No, I really struggle with script. It's
Mm-hmm.
harder for me to see. So I just saw like the swirls kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd love to be like, yes, I saw that. That was perfect. But
You spotted
unfortunately,
that.
I cannot admit to picking that up, but that is tremendous.
Yeah. No, it's and that's why the title at the very beginning of the movie, you have not really or pas vraiment ordinaire, then a second line with scribbles, and a third line not really ordinary, and it's from the French mom, the daughter and the father, which are like three different ways of seeing a same story, because this story is all about perspective.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
We
I
wanted
mean,
it to offer the perspective of the person who was convinced that everything that was happening in a dream was real. So that's why we start the movie through our eyes. We want the people to understand that it is real for her.
mm, yeah. Okay. No, because yeah, I was looking at the beginning and I was like, oh, and I'm trying to zoom in and see what the middle words are saying. And I was just, I can't quite make that out. I don't know what that says. So knowing that it doesn't say anything, that makes me feel a lot better. Because
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
like,
literally what a child would see and understand from someone who's writing. It's like you see another language, you just don't understand what it means, and that's what
mm.
we yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a thing. Like signatures as a kid, like you'd be like, I have no clue what that says. Like I have no
Mhm.
clue, right? You just see these squiggles, and it's just like, what
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, this was that was just another great film. I really
Oh,
enjoyed it. So is
thank
it
you.
you doing festivals right now with the film?
It is about to world premiere at Holly Shorts on August 9th,
Oh,
in the shot on film category, because it
right.
was shot on anamorphic 35. And so we're going to present it. I unfortunately won't be able to be there because I'm promoting another movie with my production company in Locarno at the exact same dates, but the entire team will be there, the director, the rest of the cast. And it's so sweet. We were able to ask for an earlier screening so the kids would be allowed to come and see the screening. It wouldn't be too late for them, which is
Oh,
very
that's
sweet from the
nice.
festival. Yeah,
Yeah, no, that yeah, that would be so great for them to be able to, experience all of that.
on a big screen, yeah.
Mm. Oh, tremendous. Do you have any other festivals lined up after this one?
For this one, not yet. It is the first one. We'll see. We sent it to a great list of festivals, and I think we're gonna see where it goes from there. But for now, it is our world premiere there. Yeah,
Right. Oh, fantastic.
yeah.
And like, yeah, I mean, you are wearing a lot of hats right now
I
in
am.
this, in this industry, let's just say,
You
right?
have to. You don't have a choice.
I mean,
You
just
have
on
to
the
make it
short,
happen.
yeah, just on the short, you were one of the producers on the film as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
associate produced it, and I was
yeah.
the editor as well.
Mm, yeah. So you've got that, and you've also got a production company.
Absolutely. Artak
Yeah.
Pictures, as
So
in
how?
Art Attack.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a play on words.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people are very curious. They're like, what does that mean? And like, yes, it's the attack of the arts. We're here to, we're on a war to make the arts accessible.
Yes, I see that's the vision of it all,
Hmm.
which
Yes.
yeah, I mean, how do you feel about that, right? Because so many people, right? So many companies and organizations come out and they make these statements and they're like, yes, we're going to, you know, give opportunities and we're going to do this thing. And, yeah, it's usually after a controversy, right? So it's always like, we've
Ah.
learned so much. It's like we've always learned so much and we're going to do better, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and it never really happens.
Mm.
Never really like, you see a little bit, but it's not a full blown like integration and shift in culture or anything like that. So you know what what was that like as someone in the industry, and how did that kind of bring on the creation of Artak Pictures?
Yes. Well, basically, we came from. So we're four female filmmakers who gathered together to create this all-female production company out of frustration for not seeing on the screen what we wanted to portray or the things we were experiencing as women.
Mm,
um, and so we were like, we want to create an all-female production company that focuses on like putting on screen underrepresented voices that can be female because we feel like we are underrepresented on screen, but it goes beyond that. It can
mm,
be disability, ethnicity, anything that is not seen enough. We were like, there are tons of companies that are doing great things, but we just like, if we could adds our little voices to the conversation and really try to champion filmmakers that are trying to tell stories that are untold or not told enough, we want to focus on this. So of course we really try to champion female filmmakers because we are female
yeah.
filmmakers. And so actually our first three features are female filmmakers, female directors, and we're really proud of that. And on top of that, they are all first time female filmmakers.
Mm,
We wanted to champion debut features because we know it's
yeah.
even harder as a woman to get there. And so that was really important for us. And then the kind of stories we choose is really important. It doesn't have to be female centric all the time, but it has to have a message, and it's about to like, yeah, it's we are trying to be better and to create conversations around it. So we're really careful about the projects we take on because we need to believe in the project. And of course, when we started out and we were making shorts, we couldn't afford to be that picky.
Yeah.
But the more we grow, the more our mission statement is stronger, and people will actually approach us because of what we stand for instead of like, oh, great, another production company. Can you produce my movie?
Mm,
Um, So that it's wonderful to see that now people are approaching us because they've heard of what we do and the way we do it. For example, we really try to reach the 50% parity between gender equality between men and women, and we especially try to get women in head of departments. So if it's a male director, to have a female writer. And when I say male and female, it's like non-binary, just like broaden the spectrum of just not male
Mm.
people being in this industry and taking over all the creative roles. So it could be a production designer, a cinematographer, but we want to have more diversity in the voices that tell the story. And we're really big on that and really proud of our slate so far because it really represents what we claim to be.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of friggin' projects on the bubble right now. Yo,
Yeah.
okay, you know, like, what, Wish You Were Here, which I believe is
Mhm.
that the one directed by Julia Stiles, right? I
It
think.
is. And it is also her debut feature as a director.
I thought
We know
so
her as
because
an actor, but
yes,
yes.
because I'm just like, I swear she hasn't directed anything before.
Nope.
So,
No, no, no.
ah, so that
She wanted to for years. She's
oh,
been
cool.
talking about it for years, but
I mean, but
it is
that's always
actually
the thing, right? Like you, and especially when you're coming from a certain group, right? You're trying to break into something,
yeah.
but you just can't, right? You go on so many interviews, you have so many conversations, and you're told, oh, no, you've obviously got the experience, you obviously know what you're talking about. It's just that, right? It's just that.
Yeah.
There's always these reasons why you aren't getting the rub. And so
Yeah.
it's just, you just need that one person to take that chance, to give you that opportunity. But that's all it is, right? You just want the same opportunity as everyone else. And if you suck, fine, get rid of me, right? But let me show that I actually can do this thing, right? Because I remember I work in communications, and for ages I'm interviewing, trying to find like roles in management, and you go on and people, again, it's just like, oh well, but you're not just getting anything. And I finally got this opportunity, and my manager, she was just like, yeah, just do it. Right. And you'd come and be like, yo, so I think this will help the organization. Should we do this? She's like, if that's what you think, do it. Right. And you're like,
Wow.
oh, oh,
Oh.
okay. And then you do it. And then you give her the numbers and be like, all right, so we've seen this amount of growth. And she's like, oh, fantastic. Well done. Right.
Mhm.
All right, let's go. And you're just like, oh man, like finally getting given the opportunity to do the thing. And yeah, you will show, but that's what we want, right? That
Yeah.
opportunity. So
Yeah.
it is great that you've given Julia that and other people that chance to shine.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Any way
Mhm.
we can help.
Mm.
And at first, like we are very like small fish in a big pond, and we're like just contributing. And the more we grow, the more we'll be able to impose the things we really believe in. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's as soon as people see what it is, right? Because that's
Hmm.
always the thing. Like if you make the noise, if you show, like with Vraiment Ordinaire, right? It's
Hmm.
concept, and you show someone what you're able to
Yes.
do, then they're like, oh man, yo, this is great. I want to see more, right? So
Yeah.
put out these films, and they, do what you hope them to do, and then it's going to get people to be like, oh, I'd love to work with this company, and we need to give them, more budget and finance, and let's do this, and we'll
Yeah.
these doors, and that's how it should work, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't always work like that, but that in an ideal world, that's how it would work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because
It's a
I
very
know.
exciting journey to see that we're gaining momentum, and our voices are heard more and more.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, because I live here now. That was at Fantasia. Uh,
Yes, it just world premiere at Fantasia, and it's now headed to Locarno Film Festival.
mm, yeah, and interestingly enough, in this slate of many, many films, there's another one called Rattled.
Yes.
Ah, with a certain director on that.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, how was this one kind of conceived?
So we shot a proof of concept that we are finishing now. It's in post production, about this commentary on the pursuit of perfection and the things we do and the lack of perspective we sometimes have because we're unable to see the big picture, and we try to chase the very thing that are the worst for us.
Mm,
And so I wanted to impersonate our own fears with this rat, this animal that represents the fears, the worst fear of losing control, for the main character, who's called Silver. And so I wrote the script around the idea that this rat would just wreak havoc in her life until she finally learns her lessons. But it's lessons that she might lose the very things she cares about. And so it is a genre film. It is a dark comedy. It gets really dark, but at the same time it's really funny because we want to entertain people, but we
mm,
want to give some messages as well. And so it's the story of this baker who is preparing for the perfect proposal, and the most romantic one, because she wants to hide the engagement ring in a cake she's baked. And so she prepares this whole thing and lets the cake cool down. And when she comes back for the cake, she sees this enormous rat who feasted on the cake, and now the ring is inside the rat's stomach. And so from there on, it's going to be a deadly chase to find this rat and get the ring back. But it's the rat is going to outsmart her very quickly, and she's going to lose her shit. Literally lose it over like getting this ring back. So staying in control, and also highly focused on a material thing, whereas if she stopped for a second and would have like calmed down and see the big picture, she could have found out that like after a while the rat would have pooped the ring
mm,
eventually, and she could have found it, or like anything else. But instead she's gonna be so obsessive about it that it's gonna turn her world upside down, and she's gonna end up killing people. Without saying too much, it
okay.
goes very far. And so it's a dark comedy, it's a crime comedy, it's a horror comedy. It has a lot of potential, and it's really fun, and we had a blast shooting the proof of concept, and now we're developing the feature version.
Aha. Oh,
Yes.
interesting. No, it sounds great. Like, how did you, with the proof of concept, how did
Yeah.
you decide what part of it to shoot? What was that like?
we wanted to shoot something that could have its own beginning, middle, and end. We obviously want to tease for more, but we also want the audience to be satisfied and have closure over something. And
Mm,
so, very similar to Vraiment Ordinaire, it is a scene of life, but it has its own arc. And you can feel like you've watched the full story. So we wanted something similar with Rattled. We wanted people to have a sense of the tone, the potential like avenues to go further, but also be very content um with the story itself, and be like, oh man, if it stops there, it's already great and I had a great
mm,
time. So yeah, we chose a part which is actually the beginning of the film. Like there is this like B story that could be contained on like 15 minutes, in 15 minutes. So we were like, oh, let's focus on that and have fun, and get the audience to want more, but more of those characters, not
mm.
especially more of this story. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Like when you're doing something like this and it is a
Hmm.
proof of concept, right? You obviously you're casting these roles, but where, when Marvel were putting together those early films and it's all leading towards the Avengers, they can be like, Florian, um, this is our vision, so we want to sign you to a 10 picture deal, right?
Hmm.
Like you can lock someone down like that, but when you're in the
Be
industry,
nice.
you can't do that. So what is it like casting for like a proof of concept?
Mm.
Because you might not be able to get these people for the full blown piece.
I think you hook them with a possibility of a feature, saying like, hey, this is not just one story, it has potential for more, so it could be interesting. But ultimately, I guess the actors needs to be okay and love the story itself, so they're okay with it being what it is. And if it's not enough for them, maybe they're not the right actors for this project.
Mm,
I want to work with people who are like down for the ride and
yeah.
enjoy even the little thing, with the prospect, yes, maybe we will be, and I'm sure we will be able to do more out of it, but I want them to have fun on what we're doing and be happy with that first.
Yeah.
And it is collaborations, like we're building relationships, so we might hire them for this project and they might be perfect for another project we already have in development and that we can hire them for. So it's, shorts are an amazing playground to test compatibility, with partners, with actors, with the people on your crew. Like you get to have a taster of what they're like to work with. So
Mm,
I love short films for that, because this is really how you build your dream team for the future.
that's very true. Very true. Yeah. Interesting. Like with Rattled, are these like genres that you've always enjoyed,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Rattled, imagine Mouse Hunt, um with the visual language of Shaun of the Dead.
okay.
It has like the it's entertaining and it is like funny and everyone can watch it, but at the same time it is very, very controversial and just like a bit too dark to be just a family movie.
Mm,
And that's the sweet spot. It's like it's genre enough to be really interesting for a wider audience, but it has a lot of fun at heart, and I want people to really enjoy it. And it's like I always talk about Home Alone, which I think is such a well constructed film, and like
Mm,
it's really well written and it's amazingly executed, but it's about like we're hooked on the characters and on the story, and that's what matters, and that's what I try to convey with Rattle, like something that you're really, it is entertaining even though it has a deeper meaning. I want people to go to the movies with like, oh, let's have fun, and if I can
yeah.
cram some lessons in it, I'm golden.
Yeah, no, I mean, John Hughes was an incredible writer, director. I just really enjoy his films. But
Hmm.
I think that's always a thing, right? You want something that you can just enjoy, right? And that will transport you somewhere for however long the time is. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes we saw this shift with comedies that shy away from things.
Hmm.
So, like, you have this situation, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, are they gonna?" And then they completely pull back from it, and you're just like, "But we know what this is, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a joke, right? Obviously, they don't hate, you know, women or men or this or that. It's just this funny scenario, right? And it's just like when you see people actually, you know, what I mean, just trust the audience, I think that's when it works. That's when a
Yes.
really
Being
works.
generous, the
Yeah.
generosity with the audience, not trying to be smarter than them, but having them with you, like taking them with you on the ride.
Mm.
I'm really big on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I I'm trying to think if I've seen any really good comedies lately. I think I probably have, but my mind is just completely blank right now.
There's
I
one
mean,
comedy that I remember of that I saw last year that I thought was very generous.
oh,
It was a theater camp. Have you seen Theater Camp?
oh my god, Dad, that was great. Oh,
It
I
was
love
so
that.
good.
Oh man, that was funny. That was
Yeah.
really yeah, I enjoyed Theatre Camp. I really enjoyed Joyride. Uh,
Mhm, yes.
that was I mean, when you saw the tattoo, you're just like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. What have they done?" But yeah, that there was a film called Scrambled, which,
Mhm.
I really enjoyed. Oh, what else was there? Oh, Bottoms.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but yeah, I heard great things about
Yeah,
Buttons.
that was great. I really like Bottoms.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
those really I really enjoyed The Machine as well, the Bert
Haven't seen that
Kreischer
one.
film.
Okay.
That was good. I like that one. Yeah, a good there's nothing better than a good comedy where you just laugh. I saw, The New Naked Gun last
Oh,
week.
how is that?
I enjoyed it, right? I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, I was just when I'm hearing that they're making a new Naked Gun, I was a bit like, "Why? What are we what are we doing? Why are we doing this?" Like, is the last one was in I think Naked Gun 33rd and a whatever. I think that was in the 90s, early 90s. So it's just like,
Yeah.
why are we doing this? And so I rewatched the first film.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I was like, actually, this isn't bad. This still kind of holds up. And then the next day I saw the new one. I was like, not bad at all. Like it does, yeah, I was afraid I thought I might hate it, and I thought
Mhm.
this isn't bad. Like it's not, the funniest thing I've ever seen, but I thought they did a decent job of capturing the essence of the original.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm very curious, like, about Pamela Anderson's, like, shift of career. I find it
Mm.
fascinating, and I absolutely loved The Last Showgirl. I don't know if you saw that movie
I
from
haven't
Gia
been able
Coppola.
to see. I heard so many good things, and I was going to see it,
Wonderful
and I was
piece of
just ill,
art.
so I couldn't see it.
Absolutely brilliant. And
Mm.
I rediscovered her as an actor and I was like, she's phenomenal. And now I'm really hooked. I'm like, I really want to see more of her and what she's capable of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she was good in Naked Gun.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was really surprised because, you remember some of those early films that she did after Baywatch, and, you know, they weren't the best, let's say, but I will say, like, early George Clooney films weren't great, right?
Yep.
Like, you look at a lot of people in their early films, they're not the best, you know?
Mm.
But that's like with so many people. You look at an artist, and their early, like in comic books, right? Their early work resemble what they then become, right? Because they're aping their idols. They're trying to do a Jack Kirby, a John Romita Jr., senior, or someone like that. And then we see them find their voice, and you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I think we can see that with actors, right?
Mm.
It's just sometimes I it's someone like Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Yeah.
who such a great actor, right? But then you realize that you've seen him in so many things, but he was just these small parts, and you just see him develop as this actor. But because there wasn't this kind of spotlight on him, he's
Mhm.
able to develop and grow until he becomes the Philip Seymour Hoffman everyone
That we
knows
know.
this, you know what I
Mm.
mean? So it's just like, I imagine for people like Pamela Anderson, it's harder, but
It's
yeah.
also harder to get a good script.
Oh my God,
Um,
yeah,
I
yeah,
I I
yeah.
I feel like, yeah, even George Clooney, like, they weren't given the right opportunities either to
Mm,
really shine in a role.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm so glad to see what they can do when they're given the right opportunity.
Mm, yes, because yeah, it's just, because I'd heard her performance in The Last Showgirl was phenomenal.
Oh, incredible. Her and Jamie Lee Curtis's, performance are out of this world in that film.
Mm,
Phenomenal. I don't understand how people are not, like, raving about this film, and it deserves so much more attention. It was so good.
but it's not a large studio film, is it? I think The Last Show.
No, it is a very indie project, yes.
And I think that's the problem. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
times, it's just for whatever reason, people don't. And it's like, what do you think about that, right? Because now you're going to be in this kind of situation. It's just, you can see a film, and it gets glowing reviews, write-ups all over the shop. But for whatever reason, that doesn't always translate into more.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is the reason for that?
Well, it might not have the bright names attached. I mean, by right, I mean the names that people are gonna just be interested in seeing because a lot of people are when they've never heard about a film or a story, they tend to be reassured by the type of actors that are in it, and so it's incredibly hard to break through that glass ceiling of like, hey, like, in order to have names, you need to discover them first,
Mm.
and if you watch this film, you're going to see that they have the potential to be names as well. It is super hard to break in and get those actors you really believe in and you think have the potential, but to bring them there with you is hard. But we that's what we need to focus on, like, because they're the next generation of wonderful performers, and you want to be behind them from the beginning and believe in them and push them until it just clicks. Like, people have seen them enough in enough things to be like, oh my god, I love this actor, I saw that actor in something else, like, now I want to see him more, him or her, and it creates momentum for them. But you need to, like, really push for it, and I hope that with our production company we can make that happen for people we believe in.
Now, what I I've been thinking about this for a long time, right? Because you always see with new films in the last, decade or so, that, like, say a film cost 100 million to make, right? And then they spend 50 million on marketing, and you're like, why? Because you see, like, you look at the film and what they've done, right? There's some billboards around the place, but it's just like, I don't like, where did all this money go? Right? Because it's not really, I don't feel that you've got more visibility than, say, the next film. Now, what you sometimes see that they get, actors on like the Late Show and things like that. But other than that, you're kind of like, I don't really know, because the trailer is mid, right? It's like the posters, I've seen better posters, right? So
Hmm.
it's just like, where is all this money going? You know,
Mm.
I think that's always the thing. But we see that smaller films that don't have that money don't get the same exposure. And it's always this weird kind of thing when it comes to promoting films, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, I kind of feel that maybe we're concentrating on the wrong thing,
Mm. Yeah.
you know?
I mean, I agree. I agree. I I just, like, try to focus on the quality and trust that the word of mouth will be as powerful as, like, a lot of billboards, and the audience will make the difference. And there are a lot of films that have a very humble start in select theaters, but then it comes to streaming and people are like stumbling onto the film and love the film, and
Mm,
it becomes a cult classic in the hand of the audience, because the audience is like, oh, you have to watch this film. And I'm thinking about a couple of films that really um got bigger with time. I'm thinking about Strange Darling, um
I
who
really enjoyed
kept,
that.
yes, and it's really the audience and people, and I could, like, I would overhear a conversation about this guy recommending the film to another guy, and he stumbled upon this film, like, on a platform, and it's like, oh, I watched this film, you have to watch it. And I'm like, this is the best publicity if people are
Mm,
like recommending it to their friends. And that's how it built momentum, and it's a wonderful movie. um but that didn't especially have like a huge promotion at the beginning. and it's really the audience that make it what it is now.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I think that's the thing. But like when you look at films, right, are you going by the actors, the directors? What is the thing that kind of, as a, let's say, as a viewer, if you're
Mhm.
choosing something to go see in the cinema, what for
Mm.
you is the pull factor?
For me, ooh, that's a great question because it changes. I
Mm,
think, yeah, sometimes I really want to see something to just disconnect. I want to escape. I want to see like a I remember going to see Sinners and being blown away by it. But I think I came in blind because I didn't I saw it very early on, so I wasn't aware of this hype
yeah.
around it. And I got so surprised in the best way, and I actually went to see it a second time because I
Mm,
needed to
yeah, yeah.
know more and absorb more of it. Um, but first, it was really about like, and that's the magic of this film, and that's what we talked about. It's like make a movie entertaining enough to, if people want to take it on the surface level, they can, and if they want to like take all the messages, all the symbols, like it's so rich, but it can allow it because people came to the theater in the first place to see your movie. And I think the marketing was really clever, and it was, yeah, just a movie I wanted to see without knowing anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, Sinners was an interesting one, right? Because I think it was one of the last films that, oh gosh, I think it's Pam Addy and Michael DeLuca.
Hmm.
I think they're the heads of Warner Films.
Hmm.
And a lot of their films were not doing as well as they were hoping. And this was, I think, one of the last films that they'd kind of, and if this did not do well, they were out of jobs. That's what you were
Oh
hearing, right?
God.
And so, like, there's, I think, the head was it David Zucker, or no, that's Naked Gun. Um, yeah, I can't fit the head of Walter, like the big head, but he was just getting pissed, right? That I think they're spending a lot of money on what he was looking at being more niche films, more indie, large scale indie films,
Yeah.
right? And he, you know, and we see Warner's is kind of making that shift to sequels and, you know, franchises, and that's where they kind of want it. So it's just like spending all of this money on these smaller type of films. So
Mm.
Sinners, it didn't necessarily, from my kind of what I was seeing, get a huge push like other films, you know,
No.
like Minecraft and things like that. It
Yeah,
didn't,
no, it didn't have the same budget in
no,
promoting it. Yeah.
but it's kind of like anyone that saw it was just like, yo, you need to watch this film. And for me, it was Ryan Coogler. I'm
Mm.
just like, there's sometimes with a film, there's certain directors, and I'll be like, yo, okay, I'm gonna go watch their film. You know, like Ryan
Because
Coogler,
of you. Yeah.
yes, Spike Lee, Chris Nolan. There are certain Richard Linklater, there are certain people where I'm
Mm.
just like, I'm gonna go see your film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to see it because of that, but I wasn't expecting what I got. Oh my god, it was so good.
It was incredible
Oh,
on so many levels.
mhm.
As a filmmaker, there's a lot of things I pick on, and I'm like, oh my god, this was clever. But even as just an audience, like enjoying a movie, there's so much you can take in. It's wonderful. It's like a candy. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
And
It's
even like that bit at the end when they're, and she's just like, come in, you fucker. And you're just like,
motherfuckers.
I know people just like, why did she do that? Oh my God, that's so dumb. But you'd be like, I know why she did that,
Yeah.
right? Like she's lost her husband. She thinks that they're probably gone and killed her daughter. She has nothing. So it's straight vengeance. It's straight, I'm gonna fuck these people up. And it's so visceral, right? And it's just like, but it's just moments like that throughout the film that you're just like, boy, oh man, it just hits you on so many different levels. I love Sinners
Yeah.
so much.
Oh yeah, same, same.
Mm. But it's like, yeah, sometimes it's directors, sometimes, right, actors. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, because I think actors, it's trickier because you can see someone in one thing and they're incredible, and then in something else, and it's just like, what, what happened here? Right? This, I don't know what this was, and it's a weird one. So I'm kind of like, the thing that really kind of pulls me in is the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, that sounds interesting. Right? Oh, we're looking at this. Oh, like when I heard about The Return, that was for it's funny because we had The Return and then a couple of weeks later Sinners. And for
Mm.
me, those were the first two big films of the year that really hit. Like
Yeah.
there's been some other decent films, but those were the first two that really impacted. And it
Yeah.
was like, I love Greek mythology, so it was just like, oh, we're looking at the last part of the journey. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the story. I think the story can play a huge part in why people go, but
Hmm.
we don't always focus on the story when we're promoting things, you know what I mean?
Rarely. Yeah.
And I think that's, and even if you're just giving people a snapshot of the characters that will be in the thing, you know what I mean? Like you don't necessarily need this trailer with bits of the film if you just kind of introduce the characters, right? If the characters are compelling, you're like, I want to know what this person's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, with a production company, these are kind of the things that you kind of think about.
Yeah. But you also have to navigate with the state of this industry, and
Mm,
sometimes stories, the last thing the sales agent or distributor wants to hear about, and it's more about who's attached to
yes.
this project. So yeah, it's sometimes a fight, but it's a yeah.
Yeah. How is that to navigate, right? Do you have to kind of, you know, balance the things that you want and the things that you have to give?
Yeah, it's a compromise. Yeah, because you want the film to see the light of day, and so
Mm,
you see what compromises you can make without compromising your story, because the story is the most important. Now, what can we do to make this film seen? So what choices can we make to make sure it's appealing enough to a wider audience and to be marketable?
Yes, I imagine that is a struggle at times.
Mhm. It's a fun struggle. We love what we do.
I mean,
It's
where you are now, right? When you were all sitting around talking about, hey, wouldn't it be great if we did this thing, right? From that moment to now,
oh
like,
God.
what has that been like? And did you even envision it what it is right at this moment?
Absolutely not. It started very humbly out of like frustration for not seeing the things we wanted to see on screen and not being proactive enough. We were really
Mm,
waiting for the phone to ring,
yes.
to get that opportunity until we decided, hey, wait a minute. We are filmmakers. We can make it ourselves. And so we just needed a structure for insurance purposes to be able to rent gear. But it started very humbly making short films, and we wrote scripts and shot them and sent them to festivals waiting for the best. But that was the level of ambition we initially had with this structure. And what happened was that those stories went real like got a really successful festival run, and we started winning awards, and we started seeing people approaching us to produce their shorts because they saw ours were successful, and we were pretty surprised. We didn't even think we could produce other people's films initially. And
Mm,
so we started producing shorts more and more, and we grew, and those shorts got really successful in the festival circuits. And we were like, we must be doing something right, I guess, because it's growing. And I remember someone asking us, when are you going to step into the feature world? And we kept saying, oh, I don't think we're ready for this. Like we're like we're trying, of course, but we're learning so much. And that person said like, oh, no, 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 you are ready for this. I've seen you, the four of you on set, babysitting everyone and making shit happen as women, like taking charge. All you need is an opportunity to get your foot in the door. And that person actually gave us an opportunity to get our foot into the feature world with the first one. And then it kind of snowballed from there. Like once you have your first feature, it's easier to get your second, and people
yeah.
hear about you. And then now we're in a position where we can really choose the projects we love and develop, and help shed light on projects we really care about because we have this momentum. And so, even in our wildest dreams, we wouldn't have thought this company would be so successful after only 4 years. It's been exponentially growing. It's
Mm.
beautiful to see. Yeah,
Oh man, that's great. Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's fantastic. Like, you have this current slate of films, but
Mhm.
how far do you plan? Right?
We
What's
plan pretty far ahead. We have a slate of 6 features in development plus one series, which is way too much for us. We're understaffed, and it is very, very ambitious. But we that's how like how far we see things. We have projects in early stages of development, and we have others that are already packaged with
mm,
financing, and we have some in post production. So various stages of development, of course, but it is really, really a lot. But we have this belief that we're gonna go faster as we go, because you want to keep the momentum you have, and I guess we're getting confident in the quality of the products we have as well. So we're like, no, we're going the right direction. We're gonna double down. We're not gonna slow slow
mm.
down.
No, I think that's what you need to do, right? Because I always think about, I remember when Jay-Z took over as president of Def Jam,
Mhm.
he signed Rihanna,
Yeah.
and there was this other girl, oh, whose name I always forget. She had and it's funny because they both released singles, and this other girl's single was a lot bigger. It was like, I think it's called Boy Feel, Make a Boy
Mhm.
Feel, something like that. And it was a big single, right? And Rihanna, like her single, yeah, it was okay. It did okay, but it wasn't huge. And they both released an album.
Mhm.
And Rihanna's album had some good songs on it, but it wasn't huge. It wasn't Rihanna we know now, right? But she went straight back to the studio. You know what I mean? And then did the second album, the third album, the fourth, right? This other girl did not. And I just,
Mm.
that is the difference. That is that intangible thing, right? People go, I want something, but then it's just like, oh, I think I've got a little bit of shine. Cool. I'm gonna go pie. I'm gonna go, right. I'm not going to use this as the catapult, use this as the fulcrum to leverage more, to put in that extra work.
Mhm.
So it's just, I think once you get right people looking, you
Yes.
keep going. You don't stop and be like, hey, hey. No, you
No, don't rest on your
go.
laurels.
No.
Yes, because it might be your only opportunity. It might come once. You don't want to let that slip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose momentum. Yeah.
No.
No. You can't
Yeah.
afford it.
No. So it's great that you've got all of this stuff like, bubbling around, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's very exciting.
yeah. I mean, because I know that it's not always like sometimes you can look at something and go, I think this is the one that might blow up the most, but then this is the
Mm.
one that's probably closer to getting made, right? But how is how is the management of the slate, right? How do you do all of that kind of thing, like looking at the different
It's
projects
yeah,
and
it's funny because it's like a race. You have all your projects, and like sometimes some of them are turtles and they're going very slow, and you think you have a rabbit, like, and you're like, oh, this one is going to be made by the end of the year. You have a lot of momentum, and then like one thing after another, like you stumble and like one actor is not available anymore, or there's a change, and then you're stuck in limbo sometimes for months
mm,
and years, and your turtle is like continuing like to advance slowly, and I keep being surprised by the next one. It is rarely the one I think is going to be our next,
right.
because it's so it, there's so many different elements. It's impossible to know, so you have to make sure all your projects are strong, and believe that eventually they'll arrive to the finish line.
Yeah.
But it is not guaranteed, and it is very surprising, so you just keep pushing, and sometimes you put more of your energy on a couple, and you put the other ones on the back burner, but then you meet someone who absolutely wants a rom-com, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I do have a rom-com for you. We haven't
Mm,
worked on it because we were pushing for other ones, but if you're interested, and that project is gonna blow blow off. So it's, you never know. It's great to have a slate that is versatile enough so you can appeal to a wider range of partners. Yeah.
mm. So have you, like, is it a thing of actively looking for, say, like, I want a rom-com, I want a thriller, I want a sci-fi, I want a fantasy, I want a,
Mm, mm,
or
mm.
it's just that is a good story. Let's do that. And it just so happens that now you have of these varied titles.
So it is about the story first. That being said, if a great script comes in and we already have something very similar, we have to be smart about it, and it could kill both
Yeah.
projects
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah.
push for the same one. So we do have like space for other ones that are like on from a different genre, but we're not especially looking, oh, we don't have a sci-fi one, we need a sci-fi one. It's only if we find a great sci-fi script we're gonna take it in, because we don't have any right now. So it's a bit of both, but it will always be focused on the story. Like, is this a good script? It might
Mm.
be silly to say, but it's hard to find a good script, and when you find one, you keep it, and it's so precious. Yeah, yeah.
uh, and what is like, do you, because there's four of you with this, right? So is it a thing of you all have to agree on something for it to kind of move forward, or what's the kind of system?
So because we're four, the great thing is we're always like, every project has a lead producer, and it's going to be one of the four.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be a four yes to pick a project. If like one of us is like, guys, I really think I can take this, like I have the shoulders for it, can I do it? The three other ones just have to, like, we can vet for a project if we believe it's really not aligned with our mission statement. But we don't have to all be on board on the same one, which is great because we have different sensibilities
Mm.
and the assets, and like, yeah, I'm very into period dramas, for example, and it might not be the cup of tea of one of my co-producers, but I'm really good at pitching it, so I'm like, I'll take this one in.
Mm.
And of course we help each other, and sometimes we all the four of us work on one project as well. But it's really, does it speak to one of us? And as long as it aligns with the mission statement and what we're trying to achieve, we can go for it.
Right. Oh, period dramas.
Yeah, I love him.
Mm. Have you got any?
We
Like,
have two. We're developing two. One is a period piece about Oscar Wilde's end of life,
oh,
focusing on his forbidden relationship with
mm,
Bosie, the son of Lord Queensberry, who was the inventor of modern boxing. And so
mm,
we've never heard that side of the story, like those enemies that we know the trials, we know everything, but like we really wanted to focus on those two characters and have an actual fight instead of being a trial on a court in a court. It's now a fight in the boxing ring, and instead of fighting with fists, they're fighting with words, because that was
mm,
the way they expressed and fought at the time, with their words. And so we have this really beautiful approach about this well-known story, but the part that is not really well known. And we have another one, which is an adaptation of Henry V, but instead of happening in 1415, it's now happening in 1915, 500 years later, in the middle of First World War, when the British soldiers, instead of fighting the French against the French, they're now fighting together
mm,
against the Germans, and what it created. And it's set in a hospital on the Agincourt battlefield. And those soldiers are badly wounded, and it starts in the hospital. And the nurse has this idea to put on a play to cheer them up, and she has this Henry V book, and she's like, I have British soldiers and French soldiers, let's put on a play. And so we start a play within a play, and we see the soldiers transforming because they have something to do and to look
Yeah.
for and make them forget about the horror of war, but you have elements of reality, like the hospital is bombed, for example, or one of the soldier has PTSD when he receives a gun against his forehead in the play, but suddenly it triggers something in him, and
Mm.
so it's a back and forth between 1415 and 1915. It is a beautiful adaptation of a theater play that ran for years in the UK that we're developing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm intrigued by both of those.
Yeah, those are really
Oh,
cool projects.
great. And rom-coms.
We have
We
one.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about rom-coms earlier. So yeah, rom-coms, as you think rom-coms are coming back, right?
They are, and I feel there's an appetite for it. Like people want to see they're very nostalgic of the ones from the 90s, early 2000s, where you just wanted a good love story that ends well if possible, but not all the time. But the interaction between two people and in various funny settings, I think people are missing them, and I miss them. So I was so happy to find one rom-com that we really connected to and that we're developing as well.
Okay. Like, what was a rom-com that really connected with you? I'm
10
curious.
Things I Hate About You. Talking about
Okay.
Julia Stiles.
Yeah, no, that was fun. I was just say
Oh
that
my
was that
god.
was Taming of the Shrew, right? I think that
I think
was.
so. Yeah, kind of a yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a fun one. That was definitely fun. I did like that. I like with me and rom-coms, I'm kind of like, the idea of them,
Mhm.
but they can frustrate me. You know what I
I
mean?
see. I get
And
it.
so there's some that I just not a fan of. And then there's other,
Mhm.
like, I really enjoyed the first Bridget Jones film.
I
I
love
didn't
that.
like the other.
But I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like the others. Like 500 Days of Summer. I
What a
love.
great one.
I love the fact it doesn't have an happy ending.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what I mean? I love the fact that there's there's certain things like Garden. I love Garden State. I think
It's a good
that is
one.
just, and the fact that they're apart and then he comes for it that in the air. I just love that. I did
Yeah.
like the notion of love is something that is, I don't know, it's like that unicorn that you chase, right?
Yes.
And you're not sure, is it real? Like, I hear people talk, I don't know, is it real? Right? That you want to believe in this thing. And so when someone captures the essence of it so well,
Mhm.
that's
Mm.
what really kind of resonates with me, rather than sometimes the saccharine version that we get. It's a bit too
Yeah.
stylized, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it doesn't feel real, so there's certain, like, I loved Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I just love that film, and I love the fact that at the end, it's that realization that, oh, we've done this thing multiple times, right? We've done it multiple times. You know what? Let's do it again, right? And it's just that kind of thing, right? It's not worked, but maybe if we both forget, we might make it work again, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like, like it's sad and painful, but it just feels so real,
Mhm. Yeah.
and like three of my favorites. I mean, there's so many, there's so many films I like Love Jones and Love and Basketball, The Woods, but I love Richard Linklater's Before trilogy.
Me too. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm French and then I identify so much, but they're masterpieces.
Oh my,
It's just so good.
yeah.
The dialogue, the
Oh,
just, yeah, music to
and
my ears.
the different stages. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
I love the fact that they're 10 years apart and they feel like we are at these different stages of their lives.
lives. Yeah,
And so the viewpoints are different, right? The interactions are different, but the love is there. And
it
that
is.
is
Yeah.
just, ah,
Oh, I've got
I-
goosebumps
yeah,
starting talking about it. Like honestly, it's so beautiful.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love those films. So when you're looking at films, right? And so you've got the period dramas, you've got this rom-com and all the other films on your slate. Are you kind of do you use films as a benchmark to be like, could it be our, what I mean, before sunshine, before sunrise? Could it be our, like,
Oh.
is it of that ilk? Or, what I mean? Like, how do you kind of weigh things up, as it were?
I don't think we we go we even dream of being that because we're still at early stages of our careers as producers. Like for now, we're like, let's make a film that people remember of. Um, and see where it goes. And I'd love to get to the point where I find a script and I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna make a difference with this one. And I hope we will. And I hope the ones we have will do that. But I wouldn't even dream about it. Maybe I should, but yes, I'm still at the stage that the wildest dream right now is for this film to exist. And that would
Mm,
be such an achievement in itself. um and we'll see where it goes, but yes, making films is so hard that yeah, a film coming out is a miracle, honestly. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, were there aspects of it that once you started a production company that you're like, oh my God, wait, we have to do wait, that? Like, were there things that just kind of cool? Because I remember like buying a house, and then you're just like,
Hmm.
wait, I have to get that insurance. Wait, what even is that? And there's just all these suddenly
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
You're just
yeah.
like, wait, no one told me about this. Like,
Oh
what's
my god,
going on?
I feel it's every day of our life as a producer. Every day there's something new and like, oh, I guess I have to deal with this and I have to find a solution for this. Especially when you're on set, like the number of things that come up and you have to be problem solving oriented. Like you really
Yeah.
have to, that's your job on set. Just like put out fires. It is literally putting out fires. And so I mean it's incredibly rewarding and at the same time very unrewarding
Mm,
rewarding. It's you're the person who nobody sees,
yeah.
but the movie wouldn't exist without you, literally. And so you're doing the heavy lifting in order to make other people shine in their genius, and you want to be part of it. And sometimes you do things that are like seen and other time they're not seen, but you understand that without you the machine would be like not well oiled, and everyone needs everyone in order to make it happen.
Mm. That is, yeah, that's so true, right? I think that's why sometimes awards are kind of odd because
Mhm.
it's, when you look at what I always find kind of interesting is like when you have a best director and a best film and they're different,
Mm.
and you're kind of like, well, it can't be the best film unless it has the best director, and then it needs the best performances. So they can't be different from this thing because that doesn't make any sense. And it's just like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all done rabble, but you're just like, wait, how can the best cinematographer not be from the best film? And how can the best score be, you know, it's always
Mm.
it's
Hmm.
a weird one.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Oh man, I am really looking forward to watching all of your slate.
Thank you. It's coming. It's coming out.
Do we
Be
have,
ready.
yeah, do we have like fixed releases on anything so far?
Not yet. Our second feature is in this festival circuit right now, so we're not able to say yet when it's going to be released, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the first one is available on every platform, Amazon Prime, on every video on demand and streaming platform, so you can enjoy our first.
Fantastic. Is it on your website? Can people
Mhm.
purchase there?
Everything is on our website, on our slates, artakpictures.com. And yeah,
Awesome.
many things coming.
Outstanding. This is great. No, this is fantastic. And you are seeing, you know, from what your vision is, you're seeing people come to you because of that, right?
Yes, more and more. More and more, yes. They're
Tremendous.
approaching us because they like the quality of the work and also the mission statement. They're like, okay, we want to work with you because, not, hey, you're a production company, great, I need money.
Yeah. So any parting message to potential collaborators or people looking to, you know what I mean, dip their toe in?
Interesting. No one in particular. I think we're getting the right attention by the right people because what we put out there is very aligned with what we believe in, and I believe it will do the work itself and resonate with the right people.
Awesome. No,
Mhm.
I think breaking down the barriers, right?
Yeah,
Giving more people opportunity to tell stories. I think that's always the key thing, you know,
yeah,
because then we see what happens, right? There's so many examples of incredible stories from people that were never given the opportunity before. So
true.
it's just, you know what I mean, opening up this sandbox is what is needed. And I think anyone that is doing that work, man, is it's tremendous. So man, I love to see this. I'm uh,
Great.
I'm glad you're doing it, and I'm just eagerly waiting to consume the rest of your films.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me and allowing us to talk about our very exciting projects that we are absolutely in love with and we hope people are going to resonate with.
No problem at all. And how can people follow you, Florian?
They can follow us on Instagram, Artak Pictures, or my personal one, Florian Andersen. Instagram, X, TikTok, pretty much all of the platforms. Artak Pictures and Florian Andersen.
Outstanding. People, make sure you do that. Keep your eyes on their socials so you know, yeah, when you can see films on the festival circuit, right? Like, you know, future screenings of Vraiment Ordinaire, and
Mhm.
then all the other films that you have. So yeah, people keep an eye, go follow, go support. You've got a new voice telling stories, and that is tremendous.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. This has been great.
Same.
All right. You take care, yeah?
You too. Bye bye.